Alright, how's it going, everyone? So, I'm going to do something a little bit different here. We're going to run through the patch notes a little bit, and I've got a full game going here just because I needed the time to go through these patch notes because they are long. So I'm just going to go off the cuff here a little bit and go through these patch notes and give my reactions to them and what that could mean going forward. First off, I'd like to give a huge thank you and shout out to my friend ToxicDogs. She designed the new thumbnail and it looks fantastic. I'm in love with it. It's great. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, ToxicDogs. So pulling up the patch notes here. First thing, if you haven't seen the reveal trailer, go ahead and do that. The music is killer. If that's the music pack that they're using, I am amped. The skins look great as well. So we're coming off from a collection event and going right into another collection event. Just a brief overview that they give us on the page. We've got Nintendo Switch Apex, we've got the Caustic Town Takeover, we've got Ring Fury Escalation mode. That's going to be the new limited time mode. A new item, a no-fill queue option, which is nice for those solo players. And of course cosmetics and some balances, and that's what I'm really excited for, those balances. So Nintendo Switch, let's see here. We've got just doubling down on the fact that Nintendo Switch players will get a free 30 levels for the Season 8 Battle Pass coming in late through the season here. That is fantastic. And for the first 2 weeks, you'll also earn double XP. That is huge. And that's pretty much it for the Switch. Be on the lookout for that on Tuesday. Note that this event goes from the 9th to the 23rd, so we've got the standard 2 weeks on it to collect all the cosmetics or to enjoy the new mode. The town takeover will of course be permanent, much like Crypto's map or Gauntlet. So we've got the town takeover, and it is in water treatment after all, which is, I was really worried that it was going to be just completely destroyed and we would lose the feel of it, but it looks fantastic. We really keep the water treatment feel while the building looks way better. It's a nice big smokestack, just knocks gas coming out like crazy. So I guess the guise is here that he constructed it to prevent the fuel spill from reaching the ocean, but it sounds like he might have a little more nefarious reasons here. Sorry about that banging if you can hear it. I'm doing the roof a little bit, or we are redoing the roof, and they're tapping on something out there. So it's kind of similar to Bloodhound's Raventown takeover, where there's high tier loot locked away that you have to get, and it looks like you got to cross some toxic liquid, and that is gonna hurt. So be careful of that, but that loot could be worth it. Could be exactly what you need. Oh, they also note here that the Mirage Voyage is gone. Apparently Mirage did not like the fumes coming from the takeover. So rip Mirage Voyage again. Okay, well I'm sure it'll show up again for another event. Let's see here, let's talk about the takeover a little bit. Okay, so it's gonna be like just a standard game, but each round you're gonna have these ring flares, these circles of ring within the ring that are gonna appear on the map, and they are gonna just keep expanding, and they're gonna do ring damage. They're gonna do ring damage compared to what the ring is now. So be careful for that. But we've got an item to help with that. They're heat shields, and this is funny. These were actually teased seasons ago, and they're now making an appearance. So that's exciting. I mean, they plan for these things. It just goes to show how far in advance they plan for these things. So all players are going to start with the heat shield in their inventory drop, and you throw that down to avoid damage from from the ring. It's avoid damage from the ring. So think like gas masks in Warzone. This is going to be huge. Ring play is going to be a big factor now. The devs have always discouraged playing in the ring. They've buffed the ring damage. They've made it move quicker. They've always discouraged it. So now it is interesting to see an item that will be specifically used so that you can play in the ring. That's going to be huge. I think you're going to see a lot more players and teams surviving for longer now, and taking less chances, not taking the chances that they might have. And it also gives, when you're in the ring and you're inside the dome, the heat shield, you get 50% increase in speed of healing items, and revives are faster by 25%. That's not going to be applicable if the heat shield is out of the ring. So if you want those bonuses, you have to use it in the ring. And it looks like there's an extra inventory slot. So if you were worried about your inventory getting filled up from mobile respawn beacons, grenades, and now this new item, there's actually its own survival slot, it looks like, which is nice. The other nice thing about this is that this is going to be permanent. The heat shields are going to be permanent. The inventory slot is going to be permanent. It's going to be a lot like the Evo shields when those were first released, where they become permanent fixtures of the game. Yeah, I think you really are going to see a lot more risky moves going into the ring to respawn people, or more teams in the final ring. So I think that'll be good. I think that'll be good for the game, honestly. Next we have the Takeover. So it'll take over the trios and duos playlist like normal, what we've seen before. And that will be fine. I mean, you'll have to play ranked if you want to play normal matches, but the Takeovers have been okay, honestly. I haven't minded it. They're fun to do something different, for sure. So this will be all right. I know some people don't like it. Let me know what you think about that in the comments below. Next we have the no fill matchmaking, which is interesting. That's, if you want a solo queue, that's the way to do it. No fill matchmaking. Hopefully that'll help promote team play. The people who want to play on a team are going to be on a team, and the people who don't want to be on a team and want to drop solo, we've all been there. We've all had to experience that. It's never fun. Hopefully they do no fill. People have been asking about that a lot. Are we getting it? When is it going to be? And here it is. Of course, we got the collection pack. Those are the free rewards track, where you get different badges or cosmetics. And it looks for the legendary items, we've got a legendary Kraber skin and a legendary Eva 8 skin, as well as maybe a rare Horizon skin. So yeah, that's exciting. The Eva 8 skin looks good. Of course, you also get 24 different event skins, which are exciting. The legendary and epic skins between legends and weapons. So that's cool. We got some really good skins. Loba's got an absolute banger of a skin. Revenant stays winning. And Rampart skin is killer. We also have the Bangalore Heirloom, which has some really neat ties to the lore and to Pathfinder's Quest, and I have heard about it. I have not read Pathfinder's Quest yet. I'm still trying to get my hands on it, or I'm still waiting to get my hands on it. It'll be exciting when I can read that, but some really cool lore implications with their family. Really sweet stuff, really sweet. Let's get into balancing now. We've got Caustic's got a huge nerf. His cooldown, his ultimate cooldown, is now increased a whole minute. His damage used to go from 6 damage to 12 damage progressively the longer you stayed in the gas, but now it's just 5 damage consistently no matter how long you stay in there. This is a huge nerf. You're not going to be seeing Caustic play that much anymore. There's so much here that he's not that strong anymore, and it is just a brutal nerf to Caustic. Pathfinder got removed, low profile removed, which is good for him. He's not a low character. He's not a small character like Wraith or Watson or Lifeline. So this is a big move for Pathfinder, and people should be happy about that. Gibraltar got a little bit of a nerf. His fast heal in the dome is removed. I was expecting that shield bleed through, but that didn't happen. I believe Josh Medina said that is on the way, but it's still bugged. They're still trying to work on that. Horizon got nerfed. Her cooldown also got increased a minute for her ultimate. And, I mean, make no mistake, she's still top in mobility. She's still a top tier character. She's still going to dominate, but fortunately, you won't be having to see black holes, hopefully, every fight. Revenant got a little bit of a buff. His silence, or as I call it, the meatball, now disables Mirage's Cloaked Revive and Respawn, as well as Octane's Swift Mend. So, Octane's not going to be able to heal passively if he tries to get out of a fight. He will still be silenced for, I think it's 30 seconds, 25 or 30 seconds that duration is. Watson got a buff. She is passive shield regen at half an HP per second, which is half of Octane's current rate. And I believe that was Octane's current rate before he got buffed. And this is fine. I was hoping for a buff to her tactical, but this will do. A lot of people were asking about this and suggested this, and we'll see how this plays out if it makes her a little more useful. And Rampart got a huge buff. Her walls and Sheila take explosive damage normally now instead of an automatic KO. Weapon optics, no more 1 to 2 times on gold weapons. Apparently people stopped liking those. They didn't like them. We have now just the 2 times HCOG, which I thought the 1 to 2 was really good in certain situations. Mastiff the damage has been decreased by quite a bit, by 2 damage, while the fire rate was increased a little bit. This should put it pretty square in between the Eva A and the Peacekeeper as far as how good it is. You're not going to be able to 2-tap people anymore. You're not going to be able to get 2-tapped by it anymore. It's going to let you react a little bit more. The Wingman gets a +1 bullet to every magazine size, including base, so I think it's 6, 7, 8, 9 now. I'll tell you, that one extra bullet is so helpful. And Hemlock gets a little bit of a nerf. He gets an increased hipfire spread. Hemlock has been killing since season 4, I think. It's a top tier weapon, and hopefully that this should help a little bit. Kings Canyon, they've actually boosted the loot across the map. So the wooden shacks, wooden houses on the map should have a few more pieces of gear. Spotted Lake has been reduced to medium quality from high. That's a huge bummer. I love landing in Spotted Lakes. That was my go-to spot to land, was Spotted Lakes. So I'm sad to hear that. Crash Site, the loot's been redistributed a little bit more evenly. Higher quality loot should be in the ship. So if you want that high quality loot at Crash Site, go to the ship. And Caustic Treatment. I guess that's what the new water treatment is called. It's called Caustic Treatment. That's an interesting name. Caustic Treatment has more loot than water treatment, and it remains high quality. So this is going to be a viable landing spot now. For guns with fully locked attachments, so like gold kitted weapons or fully kitted weapons, most crate weapons, you can now remove the optic and replace it with a different sight. The only one that this doesn't apply to is the Craver. So if you want to change the sight on the Prowler or the Peacekeeper, you can, but you cannot change the sight on the Craver. Assists have been added to the in-game HUD, which is nice. That makes me feel good. You know, some games you do two kills or 1 kill and you get 8 assists, and all you see is the 1 or 2. So this feels good. Assists still don't contribute to XP, and this has replaced the Spectator eye icon. So I think Spectator is gone for good. Club names now appear in match summary and champion screens if all players are the same club, which is fun. That's a nice little nod. It makes you more excited to queue as a squad. And items will no longer stick to crafting replicator when dropped on the replicator. Badge progress. They'll give you an actual, like if something says you need 50 and you're at 43, it'll actually say 43 instead of a tier. That's big. While respawning on a dropship, you can now ping your own death box to help locate it easier. Also big. gold backpack will have a crackle of energy based on the tier of armor they wear. So you'll be able to see that in game now. That'll be help if you're trying to push a fight there. Players on PC lobby can now go back to the title screen. That's great. Inspect weapon has been moved to the emote wheel. If you want to inspect your weapon, you have to do it on the emote wheel. A couple bugs, not a ton. You know, nothing huge here. I think those quality of life changes are going to be big. I say there's not a ton, but there actually is kind of a lot. Low has been fixed a little bit. I was expecting a Loa buff, that didn't happen. You know, so yeah, some fixes there. Overall, some good fixes there, and a good quality of life changes. Alright guys, have a great day. This was exciting.